welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am excited once again this Friday afternoon, Friday evening, sincerely to you who find your way with me in the live. Blessings to you sincerely. To those who tune in later to speed me up and try to get me to the point, praise God, I love you too. This life we're living, I'm excited once again today for what may come forth. To all you tune in and join during the live stream and later, thank you. And I hope we all find some value from our time together. I'm inspired, kind of overflowing with ideas once again with the topic, cleansing from parasitic selfishness. We'll jump to the conclusion. Love is the answer. Love is the answer, and forgiveness brings freedom. So have a fabulous Friday whenever you listen. From me to you, may your cup overflow with peace, love, joy, and pure bliss. I didn't think it was possible to do that in a body like mine. Bliss, peace, love, joy. Man, that was for the beautiful people. That was for the successful people. I wasn't able to feel that stuff for myself, but here I am. Consider the obvious. You are a vessel of life and energy and potential and memories. The human vessel can be emptied of discontent, be emptied of discomfort, emptied of resistance. And then when your vessel is emptied, it allows the pure bliss of peace, love, and joy. Sincerely, brothers and sisters, the practice of meditation and prayer, it's not like a once a week thing, once a month thing. It's not like a once a day thing. It's like I'm awake, I meditate, pray, I pray, meditate. I go along with my day, I meditate, pray, I pray, meditate. I go along with my day, I pray, meditate, and then I go to sleep. God, I sound insane. Holy cows, praise God. For those of you who get me, I friggin' love you. I so much, I so appreciate you who do get me. I was considering my reputation and my results, where my progression has led me here online, right? Little honest self-evaluation. And I'm wondering, what do I do? What do I do to be different than I was? I don't know. I guess I drifted off on that question. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I totally forgot my notes. I dropped the link already. So it's for those who want to join, please do. To join the Friday chats with Jack. The topic, cleansing from parasitic selfishness. Okay, consider this. All of us, every day, we are who we are. We did what we did, right? We've all got these characters within ourselves. There's the light and the good, right? You can be an angel. You can also be a devil. I'm sure you're just like me. You can do most anything, but what you hold yourself back from, well, that's the growth and development. So within us, when we are still, without thought, without doing, just being, there's no sin being committed in your existence. Okay. As a matter of fact, your existence, your beingness of today, that's something to be grateful for. It's glorious to be alive, or it's not. It can go both ways, but where I'm at, oh my God. Oh my God. I have such a love for life that I never knew was possible. Sincerely. And I want to share this love, this joy, this peace that overflows my vessel, my cup. My cup runneth over. Man, I have been so blessed by what God, my life, has allowed me to realize and discover. I don't know what the future's going to bring. There's some pattern to my life, though. Here, the Jack story, because that's part of this. You guys, thank you for joining me. I'm sharing my life here online. I've been noticing in the back of my mind, I mean, hell, we're almost done with another year. 2024, 11 more days, and it's like done. For those who have been around a while, March is coming up again. It's like, holy shit. So prepared for the worst, but I'm truly wondering what is going to change and when will it change? In my mornings, right, I awaken each day, and admittedly, I am grateful. Every morning I'm reminded my purpose is to turn from the dark to the light. It's to stay focused on truth. Yep, the lies will come out, the lies will be, but the truth is where the value is. So that's what I get these reminders every morning that I know I have a purpose, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so each day I'm kind of empty, to be honest. And in the past, that used to bother me. I'd finish a live stream, and before I go to sleep at night, I'd be wondering, okay, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? What are some ideas? But you know what? I've been learning to trust. There's a spirit of life and discovery that you can align with for yourself. And I think this is what's been happening. I've just been learning a lot of things, paying attention to what I'm experiencing so others can better understand themselves for themselves. But each day, God has been allowing me to receive inspirations every day. Nothing is changing in my life, and the failures are frustrating. You know, I keep knocking on doors, sending messages, trying to get attention, and then it's like I clearly can still improve in my ability to communicate with others. But um, here's the point. I've been learning how to trust in the Holy Spirit. These words I talk about in the description, surrender to the presence of the Holy Spirit. Trust that it is leading you, whether you realize it or not. The Holy Spirit that's with you is leading you on the path that's greatest for you and the greatest purpose. See, there's a greater purpose of life that our human minds, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know, but The world we live in, it's full of people with diseased minds, corrupted minds. Here, I'm going to swing it back to where I was going earlier with the Christ inside and the devil inside. What corrupts a man or a woman? Sincerely, simply, what makes a person corrupted? It's their beliefs, it's their selfishness. Selfishness, where they place themselves above others. It's an insanity that this world has been living with, well, from the beginning. I was reminded recently, see, and again, this day we're living in with the technology and what's available, there's so many opportunities to learn. And people are explaining a lot of things. I've mentioned this term before, Wetiko. It's a Native American term for a malevolent, cannibalistic spirit that can possess people, causes them to act against their own best interests. So it really embodies greed, excess, selfish consumption. This disease of selfishness, we're all a part of the problems in the world today. Okay? There's no point in blaming anyone or anything. But the world we were born into, it rewards selfishness. Your generosity, Lizard Tree, blessings, and thank you. Thank you to all of you who, who have been here along the way as Jack develops a little bit more and improves. I have such great faith for the future, because what the world is seeking is freedom. Every one of us is seeking for love. The freedom to love, the freedom to be loved, the knowledge of freedom, the knowledge of love and being loved. That's what we all seek, whether we realize it or not. So within us, at each moment, if you become still, without thought, without deed, at the moment, you are without sin, right? You would be pure. And just as God created you to be in this moment. So with the sinless nature, which is the pure identity of us, there's also fighting the sinless nature is the instinct of the beast, the animal, wants to went straight to sex. Wants to have sex with everything, wants to control everything, wants to possess everything. It wants everything to be familiar. It wants everything to be its way. That's the egoic foolishness. It's the selfishness and narcissism. Each of us have the tendency for those patterns. Some of those patterns, some people are real cold-blooded, just do not give they don't care. Matter of fact, if someone suffers, they feel good. I've met people like that. So with the topic, cleansing from parasitic selfishness, I encourage you, look at yourself for symptoms of selfishness. Realize that parasite will corrupt you. It'll convince you that excuses are powerful. It'll convince you to hate. It'll convince you to give up on the things that you love. It's a state of insanity. I used to have it, okay? I used to be, I didn't realize my patterns. I was blind. And brothers and sisters, It's only the confused mind that cannot see. It's only the arrogant mind that will not understand. Because within us all is a spirit of life and the purity of the Christic. It's in the scriptures, right? The Bible explains the psychology. There's reasons for everything. Holy cows, lizard tree. Those aren't cheap, man. Blessings to you. Holy cows. And welcome, Austin Murphy, Mr. E, RT, HMFIC, Unknown, Margot Schools, Caucasian Sasquatch, Toxic Tommy, Joseph, Lucid, Telecline, Zephyr, Avoxel, Brian W, NDB, Lulu, Enslaved by Truth, Samantha, No One, Nobody, Pale Horse Rider. Holy cows, man. My love is sincere. Praise be. Your generosity, it's a sign of you, your goodness, your sharing. And thank you for finding value here. Sincerely, there's some who can't find it. There's some who can't find any value from what I'm doing. I think they're crazy. I really do. But we live in a world of insanity. This spirit of Wetiko, it really is the beast within us all. And it acts against our best interests. It creates these wars, these gangs, these separations and divisions, creates the illusions of safety. And here, the idea of a parasite, too. It's an organism that lives in or on an organism of another species, its host, and it benefits from deriving nutrients at the other's expense. So we've got these parasites here in the human form on Earth, these parasites that have manipulated the masses into abdicating responsibility, into people are giving away their authority and they're doing what they're told. We got these parasites that have infected mankind. The darkness in the world, the wars, the debts, the censorship, the oppression, all of this stuff, it's due to insanity. It really is. This is what I've been saying. The ego mind, we've got so many people who think they're separated from the others, and yet they benefit from the hard work and from the results of others. We all have this connection to everything. And this ignoring responsibility, this is what I've said. The wars are happening in Gaza and in Ukraine because they've been enabled. It's the only way wars can continue is if they're enabled. And the American taxpayers have been enabling the oppression and the murder of men and women throughout time. It's a big Ponzi scheme that I think if we continue to ignore the problems, they're going to continue to grow. The plans of the World Economic Forum, some of the appointees that Donald Trump is bringing in to, these are symptoms of insanity that collectively, let's stop ignoring let's stop ignoring problems in the world and then enabling, parasiting each other, convincing each other we can't do anything. That's someone else's problem. Yeah, the world problems were created by people. The majority have been. It's people who suffer with the world's problems. And I believe God created people to solve the problems. So mankind got deceived. The Bible tells a narrative that could explain it, right? It doesn't matter what the past was. What matters is what we do today. And today, brothers and sisters, I'm filled with faith. I'm filled with faith. I haven't lost hope in humanity. My faith is in God, that God is allowing an awakening to happen here on earth, and I'm trying to do my part. That is my prayer. I mean, my path brought me to doing this. My path of study and life brought me to this. I mean, I actually take what's happening on in the world. I actually think these wars are kind of a serious thing. And there's a lot of people who tune in here regularly, apparently see no value in what I'm doing. I mean, some of the I know much of the confusion around me, it's not necessarily by my own creation. It's because I've somehow found a lot of liars into my life. And those liars have convinced other people that it's not worth paying attention to me. And I disagree. Because life is happening in front of your eyes. What you pay attention to, what you think about, is entirely up to you. I'm suggesting to you, whoever you are, whenever you might hear my words, I'm inviting you, let's do something about the wars. Let's do something about the corruption in the governments, in the economics, in the politics. Let's find a way and accomplish what hasn't happened yet. Is there something going on? I don't know. See, this brings me to more questions. What is the best path for me? Here's a brief description. I saw this earlier. I'll share the link and we'll watch a couple of minutes of this. It's titled "The Mind Entity That Plagues Humanity," Wetiko. That's from this video is why I brought up that specific term, but it describes it very well. Here.
What if we told you that humanity is being driven to the brink of extinction by an illness? That all the poverty, the climate devastation, the perpetual war and consumption fetishism we see all around us have roots in a mass psychological infection. In his book, Wetiko, Healing the Mind Virus That Plagues Our World, Paul Levy argues that all of humanity is under the grasp of a psychological illness. Wetiko. Wetiko is a term used in Native American spirituality to describe a contagious psycho-spiritual disease of the soul and a parasite of the mind. In his book, Levy argues that the concept of Wetiko is present not just among the Native Americans, but in several spiritual traditions, including Kabbalah, Vedanta, and even the psychology of Carl Jung. He writes, Wetiko is a cannibalizing force driven by insatiable greed, appetite without satisfaction, consumption as an end in itself, and war for its own sake against other tribes, species, nature, and even the individual's own humanity.
This spirit of selfishness, that's what it really is. The spirit of selfishness will put us into feelings of lack, into feelings of separation. It really is an insanity. How do we heal it? Well, every one of us is responsible for ourselves. But at the same time, who you are is who you experience. Okay, there is a co-creation of every experience. When we join together as people, we are co-creating the conversation. We're co-creating the relationship. If we really want to help each other, it's time to help ourselves and each other. There's no separation. Okay. Anytime you have the opportunity to help another human, do it. Otherwise, you're neglecting yourself from doing good. Your purpose here on earth is the same as mine. It's the same as everyone else's. We're here to do good. That's why we're here, right? The Bible, the religions, they talk about these things. Living with a flow with life, living with a love for life. The laws in the Bible, right? The commandments that everyone wants to be afraid of and fight about. Jesus demonstrated it. He explained the way of being. And his rule, his commandment was love. Love is the way we're supposed to live. To be absent from love for yourself, to be absent from love in the moment, you're punishing yourself for some reason. So love and comfort and joy, it truly is a state of bliss. And I spend a lot of time, I'm not bragging, but, and I know people, well, you're just wasting your time, Jack. No, I'm living the life that I'm living. I'm trying to figure out where do I best spend my time, but God allows me to spend so much time in bliss every day, man. But it's the way my body is now. I take care of my body, and I can do better. We can all do better, especially when we help each other. You know, people raise their standards when they've got relationships. As relationships diminish, so do people's self-worth. It's like an unidentified thing, but it makes sense. And God allows all of us, for those of you who might be separated, like me, it makes sense. God allows us in our spiritual development in our own individual ways, and I think collectively it's happening too. This dark night of the soul, where everything you know transforms and crumbles away, and you're left all alone in the dark world, knowing of the evil, but nowhere to turn. If you're feeling alone and rejected, misunderstood, you're not alone. Okay. I've received confirmations for myself from other creators. We're not alone, but it makes sense. It makes sense to me. All the pain, all the suffering, everything I've been through, even what others are going through, it makes sense. It's not cruel, it's not sadistic, but without God in our life, we become self-destructive. It's like maybe an inbuilt self-destruct system. Oh, you want to live without God? Go ahead. Go ahead. See the hell you're going to experience. See the torment others will experience around you. The dark night of the soul, it's to get us to turn to the Spirit of God, the truth of God, the truth of life that allows a man or a woman to overcome the unbearable, to walk through the fire and come through stronger, more wise than they were. That's the way I look at my years of addiction. I'm not proud of it, not by the greatest stretch, but I understand there was a purpose for it. I took myself through hell. It was my stubbornness. It was my judgment. But in doing so, it allowed me to learn a lot of things for those suffering with addiction. Habits you can't seem to break. I understand. I've learned some tricks. For those who are interested in learning, please feel free to reach out. See, for whatever reason, yeah, I got triggered by you, Nude Guru, because you present an image as though you're wise and though you care and as though you pay attention, but I guess I had higher expectations for you than what I saw, and I was disappointed by it. But something I'm considering, no offense, but please consider, I see your comments often, there's wisdom in them, but you're clearly not finding value from what I'm doing. So I don't understand what you're doing. And it's a pattern I've noticed of many of the people who tune in or join into my life. They're full of distractions and criticism, but not really much regard. They want to diminish me or keep showing how I'm wrong and kind of missing what I'm doing here. Because part of my frustration and the emotion that I guess I show online is I do pay attention to what's happening in the world. And the fact that there is real life human suffering today, real bodies, there's real, more people are dying today unnecessarily. I just see there's a lot of avoidable suffering that we can be a part of. We can be a part of helping others avoid greater suffering. We're comfortable, we're blessed. Why not use those things for an advantage? In our comfort, in our blessings, there's other people who we might know who might want to join together. Because truly, what I'm envisioning, brothers and sisters, is through relationships and connections, people, men and women, regardless of language, regardless of border, we're going to unite together to overcome wealth and authority. And then as soon as we unite together with the purpose of overcoming the divisions of wealth and authority, we end wars, we reform the debt system, we rewrite the rules, and we bring a disclosure out into the world. I mean, there's a lot of mysterious things in the news. For those who haven't turned on the news, New Jersey and the East Coast, all of these drones, these vehicles floating around in the air. No one knows. No one knows. Oh, we'll have to wait for a special committee to do a secret investigation and tell the people just what they need to know. Brothers and sisters, hey, new guru, you're right. Not everyone is going to share the same view. This doesn't mean we're our opposition. You're right. I'm a voice of reason and truth, expressing as I see it for objective minds to contemplate. Don't disagree with anything you're saying, New Guru. Kind of ignoring the point of what I've said. Again. There's real wars happening right now. People in Washington, D.C., all the lobbyists, all these people are living these lives, doing what they believe is best. Well, there's corruption. There's undeniable corruption throughout history between the governments, corporations, and the banking system. I'm simply trying to suggest to you, viewers, listeners, we can be a part of the solution. The solution is no more secrets and lies. We bring reform into the individual lives, right? And this is where we work together. We can help each other overcome the bad behaviors, the selfish, abusive, the people fighting for power. It's foolish. It's absolute foolishness. Those people, especially this topic came up from my experience of those who join me or I go to panels. These egos are fighting for power. It's foolishness. It's a symptom of the parasitic selfishness. Selfish people need to have power over other people, not sane people. Sane people know how to cooperate, know how to be honest, know how to communicate. I used to be insane. I didn't know how to communicate. I get so frustrated when I'd feel feelings, man. I just praise God. Praise God sincerely, brothers and sisters. Congratulations. He addressed my point exactly by talking about himself. He addressed my point. No, see, this is what I mean. This world is filled with people making assumptions, jumping to conclusions. There's a lot of people who tune in to me. Oh, I already know this stuff. I already know. Or they just dismiss. He doesn't know what he's saying. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You're missing out. And to be honest, those who come in to oppose me or just to ignore me, I really wonder why. Why do you do that? I mean, you're not offering anything to help. Nothing is being offered that really helps improve, nothing to change the situation. And what I'm suggesting to you, brothers and sisters, whether I succeed or not, you can trust I'm honest. My intention is to spend the rest of my life, if that's what it takes, trying to find a way to bring the end of wars, to bring peace to the world, to bring true reforms to the nations and the corporations. So the problems that everyone's talking about and complaining about regularly, my purpose is to confront those things. So if you can't take me seriously, please go find something else to do with your day. Please. But if you can believe that ending wars, it's time, if you believe that even if we don't have the details, we know the facts show that wars do not need to be. There's alternatives to wars. But as long as the arguments are over the budgets, or as long as the arguments are over gossip and, talking about people, we're not doing anything. Okay? America just went through this election cycle, and I don't know, it's coming up where Donald Trump will be sworn in and they pass the baton and the throne. Brothers and sisters, I don't know what the future is going to bring. I don't know where God will take me. I may end up without a shelter. I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to bring. But whatever happens in the future, I want you to consider, please, for you, humble you, cleanse you from your selfishness. Selfish people, they end up fighting for power, fighting to defend themselves. Selfish people care about themselves. Selfish people don't really learn or pay attention. They're just watching to defend or to attack. So watch for your own patterns of selfishness. Cleanse the world around you from your selfishness. There's a difference. There is a we live in duality. Everything is polarity, There's a fine line and a balance that you've got to find. Self-love means taking care of you, purifying your mind, cleansing your mind of self-hate, of limiting thoughts, patterns of judgment. If you think yourself better than or worse than another, there's no better than or worse than. Each of us go through these ups and downs in life. We're all learning and developing as we go. Some people have access to more blessings. Some people have access to more problems. Maybe there's a combination of both. There usually is. But what you give your mind to, what you give your attention to, where your mind and attention go, there's your energy. Where you have more energy, there goes your life. Spend time and energy intentionally in stillness, with peace, and with joy, with gladness in your heart. I tell you something I've noticed. Try it for yourself. Now or later, but when you sit in silence and you just listen to the life and you listen to your breath, when you listen, picture your heart smiling. When you picture your heart smiling, it brings a smile to your face. So there's a little simple trick. And truly, the more you can allow your heart to smile, the more you can allow your body to feel the bliss, the peace, the comfort of being in the present, the more that becomes your habit. There's a lot of people growing up in these conflict zones, these battle zones at home. That's where I grew up. It seemed like a war zone, man. I didn't feel safe, secure growing up. So I normalized in myself this pattern of being on edge, right? Being on alert, and then also developed a pattern of staying out of sight. I drove myself insane. I didn't know I was insane, although in hindsight, the habits of drinking, I was out of my mind. I'd given my self-control away. I'd proven to myself I was irresponsible. That brings shame. I know those feelings of shame. But here's the key to knowing, the key to your salvation. Look in the mirror. In the mirror, you find the source of all your problems, source of all your limitations. In the mirror, you also find all of your blessings, all of your memories, all of the potential for the future. It's here with you now. And it's always been there. That's what I had to accept about myself. I had to humble myself to the truth. The past me, not good enough. It was up to me to change him, to become greater than him. And that's what I've been on a path to do. Hey, a friend has returned. Welcome back, Hank.
Yes, I don't want to be like the trolls, but when I told you to look in the mirror a couple days ago, you got pissed at me. But you're coming back and saying I should look in the mirror, which I have, which is why I'm at to confront the issue.
Did you prove something, or was I to learn something? What's to be gained from that?
Well, what's to be gained from that? Well, I just want to know why is looking in the mirror good for me, but it doesn't apply to you.
Number one, I'm not sure you remember accurately. I don't specifically recall, but perhaps there was more to the context of me reacting when you said I should look in the mirror. Maybe there was more beyond just that statement. Because Hank, for a long time, I've been promoting self-development. Self-development is through self-awareness, looking at oneself. That's what I actually promote. So how do we resolve? Do we still have this paradox where you think it's just something I say and I don't actually accept?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay. Well, I appreciate if you just maybe reconsider that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. What it
Yeah,
feels like is, while you said you didn't want to be like one of the other trolls,
yeah, yeah.
you
I'll take your word for it for now because I'm gonna eventually test you later anyway. So I'll just take your word for it now. I'm out.
Hank, why do you feel the need to test me?
Because I've been deceived by other people in the past.
So that's my burden to bear?
No, it's my burden to bear. I have to test myself. Otherwise, you could be on the same path to ripping me off. But if I just give you an exception and you do me dirty, it's shame on me.
Well, Hank, let's be clear. I've not asked you for anything, so I'm not ripping you off from anything.
Yeah, but we have to remember how we got here. Pussy Paul drove us together, and he was ripping us both off.
Well, there's been many characters I've met online that, for whatever reason, they find joy in trying to prove me wrong. Showing up, Hank, this is what you did. Showed up to diminish me, to show that I was a hypocrite or something, because I saw that was parroted in the chat by someone. And I was kind of thinking about you, Hank. Our past efforts to communicate, how to overcome the confusion. It could be that what I'm suggesting is just so simple. I think the best approach is, if you're willing, just be at peace. Okay? Be at peace with me. I'm sorry for past offenses. I accept responsibility for all past misunderstandings. But if you can be at peace, you can understand me. And if you can understand me, I want you to consider the possibility that with or without me, Jack, the solution for mankind is to end secrets. Secrets and lies have, by evidence, there's no denying, secrets and lies have driven mankind insane to varying degrees, but it's an absolute truth.
Okay. You just contradicted yourself. You said consider the possibility that there's a certainty that your conclusion's right. That's a little contradictory there.
You're right. Here's the reason for the reason I'm not more confident in my words is because so far all the conversations I've had pretty much have been against me, wanting to prove me wrong. So I might be wrong, but if people think about that, secrets and lies, that's why mankind is divided and oppressed.
Is there a way that we can test to prove you right or wrong without literally taking over the world to start with? Is there any way we could just do a small scale test, or do we have to use the only planet we have?
Hank, I love that you asked that, because here's been part of the challenge too. I am a small scale test of what happens, the inner transformation that can happen when you no longer allow excuses or blame, and you pay attention to eliminate secrets and lies from yourself. So I claim that along my way, God allowed me to discover the kingdom of heaven. Now, for whatever reason, people have wanted to prove me wrong again about me, that no, Jack, you don't live with joy. No, you don't live with peace. You can't be. So, Hank, you've been a part of this journey. Yeah. You are a part of this journey, man.
Well, I'm the exception. I'm willing to assume that that's all factual, but it doesn't get to your conclusion. I can assume that's true and doesn't necessarily get to your conclusion.
What could help? What could help me offer that conclusion?
You not having any secrets at all anymore?
I have no secrets from myself. I'm a man who can be trusted with privacy. I'm a man who doesn't keep secrets from others. That's what Jesus was teaching. It's simple as that.
Then why did Jesus say to keep a secret of his miracles from the state when he cured a couple of people of blindness?
It's a great question. I know his path was different than mine. I know that our messages are the same. I'm actually suggesting people to follow him, his way, and to join me. And I think as we work together to join and follow him in his way, not so much under the doctrines of a church, but as people, as men, as we help each other grow, we'll be examples for others. And truly, a good man is a good leader. It's one who's willing to step up and lead others. That's the way of Jesus. That's the path I'm following. I'm saying, Hank, if we're willing to try, I believe. Here, Hank, since 2018, in my mind, I saw a path to speak with men and women in Congress, people in the White House. Since 2018, I have not found people willing to support that effort. It's part of the reason I've been so hopeful about the return of my son. Logically, the son would want to help his father succeed, but hey, I guess I blew it somewhere along the way. Hey, Nude Guru, you're welcome. Matter of fact, I invite you. Please click the link and join. You don't have to cam up, but you seem opposed to this idea of citizen leaders. I didn't catch it all, but I think DeFreak was trying to ask you about that. There's a distinct difference between bosses and leaders. And truly, in any organizational process, there's going to be positions where it benefits to have someone take the lead. This pattern of disagreements, this is what I was referring to, Nude Guru. I don't know what it benefits. Exactly. And Nude Guru, what do the masses do? They enable the politicians, right? Yeah, they write rules that get imposed and enforced on all sorts of other people. There's all sorts of problems, and as long as we stay divided, the politicians are going to continue writing more rules. The Pentagon's going to continue losing trillions of dollars, and the war industry is going to continue polluting the minds. This is insanity, man. This is insanity. Hey, you can go ahead and leave. I'm going to start just naked, getting rid of some of you folks. Yeah. Define a leader. You have thoughts on that, Hank?
You know what? Not right now.
A leader leaders will rise in any given situation, but a true leader is one who's willing to accept responsibility. Willing to accept responsibility and bring some order into chaos. Now, a true leader was embodied in the way of Jesus. When the end came, he knew, but he also let the people who loved him, he let them know, this is not your battle. This is me, my path. We've got leaders of today, corporate and government, willing to sacrifice workers and people for their glory, their achievement, their battles, their profits. A leader is a good man or a good woman is a leader because they lead themselves with honor, with authenticity. A leader is a decision maker. The world we're born into, because of past traumas and insecurities, many people are afraid to make decisions. You don't have to be afraid to make decisions. You got to learn how to practice. You got to practice, I guess. Practice making conscious decisions. Hello, Nude Guru. Please, yes, this follow the leader stuff is lack of responsible mind. Yes, we see this. So let's do something about it. I claim that we can address the problems directly in Washington, D.C. From there, we can face the parasite of selfishness all around the world together. Because that's what mankind has become. Through our consumerism and the pollution, what mankind has done, we've become parasites on Earth. If I understand the reports correctly, some of the people paying attention to science and nature are saying we're going through another period of extinction. Mankind is wiping out all sorts of species here on Earth. And if we don't wake up, and if we don't change directions, humanity is heading even worse, more self-destruction. I actually take what's happening in the world and my life pretty seriously. I've been having fun with people and getting to know some really wonderful people online. Again, Nude Guru, you're totally ignoring what is here and now. What about the masses who are playing follow the leader? Right. We ignore them? Yeah, they want to be obedient. We'll go talk to the people that they follow. Right? We help people wake up. Nude Guru, you're missing out what is right here. And this is what is so frustrating is I'm online. I'm doing whatever I can to be seen, to be received. Those who see will see. Those who want to, so many people overlook opportunities. I've witnessed it a bunch with me. And despite the opinions, I actually think it is an opportunity to work with someone like me. I've got a lot to offer. I don't know. Hank, I'm feeling like maybe wrap it up, unless you got something.
I don't have anything right now, but I will have to commentate over the last few videos because I need more room to express myself. I need a little rest.
I didn't fully understand that.
But let me clarify. I will go over. I will start my own stream eventually, not today. I will rewatch some of these videos and I will comment over them because I need my own space to get my thoughts out. Do you have any questions about that?
Not at all.
Okay.
And if I can be of support, reach out. Let me know, please.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Nude Guru, let's not worry about they. Let's do something for ourselves. This us and they, we are one. We are one time in history. There are real parts of life, real men and women in Gaza. They're living in hell right now. Not just there, but there are millions and millions of people displaced from their homes, from their security. And where I live, I seem to meet a lot of, I'm going to say it like I see it, a lot of selfish people who care only about themselves while they feel comfortable putting others down. Blows my mind. Hey, I was about to wrap up, but I won't turn down.
I won't hold you long because I only got about 30 seconds, Jack. But I heard you mention a few times now that you're worried you might become homeless here in the not too distant future. I would just encourage you, Jack, have a plan, because I'm all about the quote. How's it go? Those who do not plan to fail. So take care of yourself, Jack. I just heard that. I do care about you, and I want to see you do well. And I do appreciate that you get on here and try to have a positive message each day. And it is sad to see how people want to come on and harass and provoke bad, Jack. Just to offer one other thing of criticism, Jack. Again, I'm guilty of this too. Both of us could work on our humility a little bit more. So, I heard you say you got to wind it off, and I need to be somewhere else. But I just heard you, and I'm like, okay, I hope Jack doesn't become homeless. So please, Jack, plan accordingly. And also, don't let these people bring you down either, Jack. Stay positive. We need positive, Jack. The world does not have enough positivity or love like that word in the background. So, and yeah, these people like to come on here and they want to say like, oh, Jack's a fraud. Let's bring out bad Jack. All of you guys who do that, are you not a human being? We're all the same way. We have a good and bad side to us. And if you provoke the bad side, you're going to get the bad. So,
hey, respect to you. Thank you, Zach.
Take care, Jack.
All right. Peace to you. The freak, blessings and thank you. There's some truth in that. Immerse yourself in the Word of God. Old Testament prophets. I would encourage you, truly spend time each day within yourself, devoting yourself to your personal relationship with the Creator of life, the Creator of love, the Creator of truth. There's aspects of that all within you. Zach, I appreciate you joining and the words. Here's something I learned. I am a planner. That was part of my problem most of my life, is if I didn't have all the details, man, I did not like to do anything. And I didn't like to do things if I didn't have all of the details first. I held myself back. But then with my marriage, with my purchase of the house and then the next house, I used all this logic and reasoning, all this planning. I had the perfect life planned out. And then life happens. The wife found a different relationship, and then I was married to the house, but still committed to becoming debt-free and having a comfortable retirement, putting our son through college. Had all those plans, man. But you know what? I've been learning how to live with blind faith. Admittedly, I am here still comfortably in the beautiful home that my son was raised in. I've been blessed. I believe that so far God is creating the evidence. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else shall be provided for. And certainly I've had to adjust my diet and change my purchasing habits and really refine how I live. But I've learned how to find such joy, such tremendous joy through conservation and gratitude. And so as far as, last year, there was just, God is using my life, I swear, as an example of the problems of this society. I'm not alone. God's using a lot of people, innocent people, getting harmed and being tested by the corruption of this damn world. That's been happening with me. So last year in March, there was issues between, problems in communication, required us to go to a court, involve attorneys, so that the lease on the house that I purchased could be renewed another year. But admittedly, that's pretty much the last safety net. So I knew last year, I had more coming, more safety net behind me. My planning and hard work, my savings and investments of the past, they proved to be wise. Kept me safe and comfortable, allowed me the opportunity to invest in my education, in the trademark, securing the ideas, and truly getting prepared for an amazing future. Because if I'm right, then the stories of the Bible are continuing. We are the unfoldment of humanity and the story of love and life. It is continuing through us all. Brothers and sisters, look at yourself honestly. And if you have trouble looking at yourself, go to someone who you trust and ask them to be brave enough to be honest with you. Look at where you're weak. Look at where you can grow. And this world is. The profits in the world come from confusion and trauma. It's black and white. It is true. So the trauma people have carried, it's been enabled. We all carry, here's the reason I brought that up. Trauma, when we have unresolved trauma, we carry around these feelings of anxiousness and whatever. The dark feelings within us will distract ourselves through consumption, whether it's overeating, over drinking. We'll turn to porn or sports or politics or whatever. The YouTube drama. We turn to entertainment to escape the feelings within, but it's a consumption. That feeling of lack, that feeling of not being whole, that's where we go out of our minds. It makes us selfish. And when we're selfish, we'll go back and forth between being a victim to being a perpetrator. We'll have all these excuses and the blame. They bring us so much pleasure because someone else's fault, not mine. Brothers and sisters, when you move beyond the fault, when you move beyond the judgment, when you move beyond the fear and the limitations, when you move beyond the feelings of lack, and you humble yourself and be honest, you can find peace. You can find joy. You can find love. You can find inspiration. You can find comfort. You can find greatness. It's waiting with you. I'm going to wrap it up there. Sincerely, to all who joined. Hank, I love you. Zach, I admire you. I love you, brother. We are in this path. Humility is the key. Humble yourself to allow love, the love from God, your love of God. Humble yourself to allow love to transform you and allow love and joy and peace to lead you through the rest of your day. And we'll see what happens in the future. Please return, do the subscribe thing, invite others maybe. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all.